What's up, Bring a Trailer? My name is Arun with We Are Driven, and I'm so excited to show you around this V10 four-wheel drive Excursion today. When I was a kid, this was king of the road. This was the coolest SUV that you could buy because of how freaking big it is. And I finally got to buy one and own one for myself, even if just for a little bit, and I am now representing it for sale here on Bring a Trailer. So first, let me just tell you a little bit about who the perfect buyer for this is and what it represents. What we have is a V10 Excursion. This is not a 7.3 or a 6-liter Power Stroke. This is a gasser. And what I think that gives you is a much more versatile vehicle that isn't hindered by some of the things that make a diesel what it is, especially from that generation. There's a reason they're as desirable as they are and worth more. But I believe if it were my application for a long-haul family SUV, that I would prefer the gas one because the diesel is going to give you fumes. It's going to give you super low power out of the 7.3 Power Stroke. I had one. It is slow. It just is what it is. Whereas this gives you much more power and ease of repair and maintenance as it continues to age with super cheap parts, easy to find. The 2-valve Triton that came in this car is a well-known bulletproof engine that you can trust for a long time to come. Inside, this is a limited edition. So this comes with all the leather, the luxury amenities, the power ports, the heated seats. It is extremely loaded out. It has rear entertainment. I don't know if it works, but it does have rear entertainment if you wanted to go back to your VHS days. And I think that it is an extremely nostalgic, but still extremely capable in a modern era vehicle that you should buy thinking you're going to use it. You can actually replace like a much more modern truck with this and get away with it, both from a power perspective, amenities perspective, and its longevity. This, I think, will last just as long as any new SUV will. Finally, I had this thing fully repainted. It clearly sat out in the California sun for a lot of its life, so the entire green section of this truck has been repainted. And so there are no blemishes to speak of over the green parts of this truck. We even had the well-known issue of the rain gutters on the roof that rust at the sealant. We had that fully stripped and resealed as well. So you can trust the roof's not gonna leak, the paint's gonna last on this thing. It looks super, super brand new with its current fresh coat of paint. Let's get to the walk around. Okay, starting at the front, we're gonna go over all the little blemishes on the exterior of this truck. The bumper's been bumped a couple of times. We have a dent there, a bigger dent down here. That one's the biggest one on the entire truck. As we go across the front, there's not really much to speak of. Water spots, one little scrape here that may be able to just come off with a good buff. Headlights are new, like I said. Down the side here, we did paint only the green, and so there is still normal wear and tear on the fairings, on the side skirts or running boards. And so we have some chipping, some light scraping, water spots on this plastic of the running boards, but not really much to speak of. I honestly elected not to fix any of these issues on the fairings because it's just so minor. You can't see it when you're more than 5 feet away. There's a small hole here in the trim, worth mentioning. Backup sensors all work. There's your rear view camera. It's a little adjustable if you wanted to move it around. You'll hear me complain in the driving video a little bit about that. There's some sun fade here. This is another larger blemish on this truck. And while we're back here, I will mention one other thing with the barn doors on this truck. So it's fading here. There's also fading in here. So I don't know how well this is going to get picked up, but right along the edges here, some cracking on this paint. So that did not get resprayed as part of the full respray. Going down this side, again, some little scrapes on the tan here. A little more up here, down here. So not perfect, but the green, the stuff that you can see from 10 feet away, all really, really presents well. That said, let's go to the interior. Okay, welcome to the inside of the Excursion. First things I will mention as far as blemishes and issues go. Steering wheel cover, King Ranch spec, but underneath here, it's quite worn out, admittedly. This screen, it's the CarPlay unit. It is kind of a, low-class Amazon unit that the previous owner never really installed a bracket with, so it does sit here, but I wouldn't recommend pressing it too hard or it falls into the dash. You can fix that very easily, of course. This rearview mirror, I replaced this and put in this mirror, which according to eBay was off of a 2001 Excursion with an auto dimming feature, just like the truck is spec'd to have. However, sometime in the past, this mirror was already replaced and rewired. And so the wiring harness that is now tucked up into the headliner was not original to the truck and did not match the plug on this mirror. So you do not have auto dimming for the mirror. I mentioned this in the driving video. This screen, which I believe is just going to be your MPG, does not work. And these front seats have been reupholstered. The seat heaters are okay. Honestly, I've felt better seat heaters. The driver's seat has one tear in the top section. Both seats, the bottom section that got reupholstered does have a pretty significant gap in the end of the leather. In the second row, we just have one tear worth mentioning. It's right there in the middle of the seats. Otherwise, middle row is in really good condition. Third row has no issues that I can see whatsoever. The only thing possibly worth mentioning back there is the floor mats do not fit very well. These barn doors and the weather stripping on them is a little loose, but these barn doors work. Right now, I have the door checks installed, which you can't really see, but part of the hinges is the door check, which straps the door in place. The previous owner had those removed. I put them back just for presentation and making sure these don't flap in the wind. But you could do it either way. They do open significantly further than this, but this is as far as they'll open with just the door checks installed. Otherwise, super clean back here. Seems to have never been used. With all that said, let's go for a drive. Okay, welcome to what is going to be a rather bumpy, because if you're familiar with these trucks, you know they have some rougher suspension, driving video for this Excursion. We do have here a V10, and I've never had a V10 Triton before this, but honestly, super torquey, super responsive, actually revs up decently fast. It has all the power you need to feel like you're driving what I would call the most powerful version of this generation Super Duty. So I actually prefer this. I had a 7.3 Power Stroke in the past. I like this better. Other things to talk about with this Excursion, it has the typical steering play that you can see here, and it has rough ride, as they all do, but if you look underneath, and there's plenty of underside photos to attest to this, there's no obvious wear in the suspension. There's some light grease leakage from a couple of ball joints. The previous owner had a drag link replaced, which definitely helped the steering, but this is probably still an original or OE replacement steering box, and they do have plenty of steering play in them. So steering's vague, rough ride. However, you have such a commanding presence with this thing, and it has all the power you need to go as fast as you need to go in a vehicle of this size. The brakes are great. And from a driving dynamics perspective, this is honestly just a very confidence-inspiring vehicle. because it is king of the road. Early 2000s, if you wanted to be in the biggest SUV that you could possibly buy, this was it. And you put a V10 in it, sure, you're getting 10 miles per gallon, but it is everything that you need capability-wise to keep up with the Escalade Vs of today on the actual roads. As far as real usable power is concerned, this has everything you need. Maybe you could say I'm exaggerating a little bit. This isn't 600 horsepower, obviously, but it's everything that you need to pass a box truck cutting you off as you're trying to do a little pull for a driving video. Anyways, what else that's worth mentioning? We have a CarPlay unit here. AC and heat work great. Four-wheel drive works. You can shift on the fly like so. Now we've got a four-wheel drive light on the dash. I won't put it in low range right now. Parking sensors work. Backup camera integrated into this screen, which I can show you when we get to a good stopping point. All the lights work. It has relatively new headlights that are a bit more modern looking than OE factory headlights. It's got the shorty antenna, so you don't have to worry about antenna clearance and automatic up and down when you're on the radio. This screen does not work. I've never seen it work. I don't know if it's missing anything. This is the MPG compass screen we have up here. The rear climate control works. All the dome lights work. These rear entertainment, I also admittedly didn't try. I think that's a little outdated. If you feel like using it, by all means, more power to you. I probably wouldn't. All the folding apparatus for getting as much rear room in this as possible is great. Honestly, one of my favorite things that I've done in my ownership with this is I'm 6'8". I can sit in the third row, have the second row folded flat, and I can put my legs all the way out, which is such a cool baller feeling. It's like a limo in the back of this thing. If you wanted to use it as a chauffeur, you could do that as well. All right, so I'm gonna go to the end of this street and then pull a U-turn so you can see the backup camera, and that'll be it. I'll also address the alignment. You can kind of see in the steering here, it is what it is. I mean, look, it is not a perfect steering box. You do have to kind of hold the wheel at a bit of an angle as you're driving, but it's not like you're holding it at the same angle all the time. I probably would not do another alignment with this. Here's your backup camera. It's not the best thing ever, but you can see it there. Don't know how well that's coming out on camera. Ooh, a little bit. You can see it's there. It's not typical lines. It's not the perfect, fisheye angle, but it is there. Definitely better than just having parking sensors. Not much else to talk about with this. Functionally, interior-wise, everything that you actually care about is working totally fine. And 164,000 miles, four-wheel drive, V10 power. This is an excellent family hauler, toy hauler, whatever you need it to be for your use. And I hope whoever wins it gets to enjoy it for many tens of thousands of miles to come. Happy bidding.